Good evening and welcome to a night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. On the behalf of the administration, Superintendent Dr. Alan Williams, Assistant Superintendent Vol Woods, Athletic Director Coach Mike Green, Principal Ron Bond, Assistant Principal Joey Sorters, Head Coach Danny Absher, his staff, and the entire Prairie Grove Tiger football team, we want to thank you for joining us for tonight's game. Tonight's broadcast is made possible by the Prairie Grove High School East Lab and is brought to you by PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. Also by Clorox. The name itself means clean. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas and Prairie Grove since 1946. Shelter Insurance and your local shelter insurance agent, Mark Spence. Prairie Grove Christian Church, where it's all about loving God, loving others, and serving others. And Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by the Bank of Fayetteville, we're banking on your potential. And tonight's broadcast is made possible in part by the Prairie Grove High School Booster Club, where showing your Tiger pride is just one membership away. We're minutes away from kickoff, and now your crew for tonight's game, Lynn Gregson and Zach Arns. It's football time in Prairie Grove.
Tigers and the visiting Ozark Hillbillies. I'm Lynn Gregson, my partner as always, Zach Arns. And Zach, this is the third home game of the season, but more importantly, it is the first conference game of the season. It's time for real football.
It's time to put away the non-conference games. That was fun, but it's time to get down to business, and it's time to get into the process of winning the 1-4A. And you know, if you'd told me a month ago that Ozark and Gravette would be a combined 0-6, I would have laughed at you and asked for a drug test. But that's where we stand right now. This Ozark team comes in off of three very rough performances. They're 0-3. They're young. This is not the same team that we played last year down in Ozark. This is not the same team that made it all the way to the state finals. This is a very different team, and they're in for a tough test tonight taking on the Tigers.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to come back with you with the game day conditions brought to you by PG Telco, and we'll be back with you after this message.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Okay, Zach, as we're back for the game day conditions, just a slight breeze, a 10 mile an hour breeze out of the southeast. According to weather.com, it says in the mid-70s. It feels maybe a slight bit cooler, but mid-70s is great football weather.
79 degrees, just a 5 mile an hour wind, and it feels like it's blowing right at us, which is across the field. Should be, yeah, the grass is mowed short, fast track. Should be a lot of fun for these two teams, which are Ozark's going to come run the spread. They want speed. They want guys on the outside, wing the ball around a little bit. Of course, Prairie Grove wants to condense everything and just beat you up physically. So this is, as I said before, if you told me a month ago that Ozark would roll in here 0-3, I mean, this was the game that everybody was pointing to and saying this is a key to the 1-4A. It still may be. But it's it's certainly got a different tune to it than it did maybe 4 weeks ago.
Well, the one thing that you could say for Ozark is that regardless that they're 0-3 in the non-conference games, they're 0-0 in conference play.
Exactly.
And a win tonight would turn their season around in a quick hurry. So you never know. And I'll tell you, Zach, you were talking about the field. Field looks fantastic.
Field's in very good shape.
The coaches, I know they keep a real close eye on it. It looks fantastic. Also tonight, Zach, and we'll talk about this a little later, there's a 50th anniversary of the band at Prairie Grove, and we'll hear more about that at halftime from our In the Week in the Grove. Again, this game day conditions brought to you by PG Telco. Zach, any other thoughts as we get ready before we go to Coach's Corner with Coach Absher?
I'm just real excited to get I think I'm tired of talking about it. Let's get the conference season started. It's certainly, I think, if you look at the conference standings, Lincoln's at the top at 3-0 off a 71-0 victory last week. And then you've got Prairie Grove's in there. And my surprise team, Berryville's 2-1. And they're taking on Lincoln tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But again, if you look down at the bottom of the standings and you see Gravette and Ozark at a combined 0-6, two of the 4 teams that everybody thought would contend for the title, that's sort of shocking. But as you said, the 3 games prior to this don't matter.
Absolutely.
Season starts tonight.
Season starts tonight. Well, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go to the Coach's Corner, brought to you by Lewis Automotive, and we'll be back after these messages.
Coach's Corner brought to us by Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946. The year was 1946 when Buck Lewis had a Ford dealership on the square in Fayetteville, and then in 1969, the Lewis family moved to the country, the current location on North College. But here we are, 4 generations later, and you still find a member of the Lewis family nearby. 4 generations, 6 locations, and nearly 1,000 vehicles await you right now from Springdale to Farmington. And oh yeah, one other thing that's a staple of doing business at Lewis Automotive, award-winning customer service. You'll get it with Lewis Automotive. Like them on Facebook at Lewis Ford Sales, or shop the inventory from your home at lewissuperstore.com. Lewis Automotive, proud to be serving Prairie Grove. Coach's Corner with Coach Apsher catches us as we begin the conference play. Coach Apsher, are we looking at 2 different programs going in 2 different directions? It seems as though you have the Tigers really peaked for a lot of excitement. It seems as though the Ozark Hillbillies are struggling for a little identity. Where are we at with the teams right now?
Well, you can't look at those records 0-3 and really determine anything, because early in the season you're not sure who's how good. By comparing scores, that's about all you can do. And then what speculation can be made about teams, what we think they will be from returning starters and stuff. And sometimes those speculations are good, sometimes they're not. Well, I'm looking at them on film, and I'm not taking them like, how good is Charleston? Obviously, they're pretty good. They beat Ozark. They're ranked number 1. How good is Clarksville? Well, they also beat Ozark, but not by much. And typically, Clarksville has a high-ranked, team. So anyway, that type of thing gets in the way whenever you start with. What we need to do is worry about what we do and which way we're headed is to be the best that we can be.
So when you mentioned looking at Ozark on film, what are you seeing? I know they had a little toll from their loss of seniors from last year, but are they rebuilding or reloading? What do you see on film?
Well, their team is much like ours. They had 20 seniors last year. We had similar number of seniors last year. And when you graduate and you put that back together, you would think that the holes to fill need to be filled and will be, and how quick you can put it together as a team and all that sort of thing is going on. Well, with the similarities between the 2 teams, we played West Fork, who was down 8 starters. We played Lavaca, who is a smaller school, and so is West Fork. And we played someone that's a little higher caliber, a bigger school, and we didn't fare so well. So, it's hard to say. We're just on a roll, and Ozark's not by looking at records. I'm looking at the film saying Ozark looks better than what their record shows, and we need to worry about ourselves doing the very best we can and not let anything mentally get in the way.
As we enter into this conference stretch, it's going to be very important to have everybody healthy. What's the health of the Tigers tonight as we take on the Hillbillies?
We had Brett Gillum, who was defensive end, backup tight end, and played more in one of the games than he had so far. He hadn't played in a few years, or actually, I'm not sure he's played football at all. Maybe he did in the 8th grade or something like that. Came back as a senior and wants to play, so he's behind a lot. But he's a big, strong lad, and he's definitely a backup defensive end, if not soon to be starter. Well, we were looking for some heaviness in the backfield, and we put him in a JV game. He's not starting on defense yet, but we put him in a JV game, or offense, either one, in a JV game to run the ball with him, to see how that's going to work. A 210-pounder coming out of the backfield for lead blocks and stuff, and he turns his ankle. Now, way to go, Coach. You put him in JV, get him hurt, and now, you're short a person. But anyway, Gillum's not in. Huckabee, our starting defensive end from the start of the season, and got a knee that's on-off. It hurts and it doesn't hurt. And so he went to an orthopedic surgeon or doctor, and then their MRI, and in 2 or 3 days we're going to find out what's wrong with Huckabee's knee. So there's 2 guys that we've got out.
So and I know you're probably going to hate this next question, but on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where would you place your Tigers, as well as the progress you're looking for them at this point in the season?
It's hard to say, and I'm looking for that answer myself. So you're saying, well, you're going to dodge my question here, Coach. I'm looking for the same thing, and I ask myself, in comparing scores and doing this and, how everyone else does, how good are we? Are we pretty good? Are we not very good? And I haven't come up with that conclusion yet. And there's a fine line in confidence and overconfidence, and man, I'm just searching like everybody. How good are we? Well, where is it? Number 1 to 10. Well, we're not on the bottom, and we're definitely not on the top. So somewhere in between 9 and 2. That was a dodge with it.
You need to run for office, Coach. As far as focus as we enter into the conference play, I don't guess there's any problem getting the guys' attention, because this is where the rubber meets the road. You can do whatever that happened in the last few games. This is where the games start counting. Are they focused as they enter into conference play?
I believe they are. We did a little extra drill or two to make sure we were focused yesterday. Maybe they got the point here. It's hard to look at, the papers and listen to all the hype of who's going to do what and pick scores where they see, they see that we're picked in this poll. So don't get overconfident here, guys. Let's go find out, who's going to do what. And every game counts now. It doesn't seem like, okay, you drop one, we'll still be all right, maybe we'll still be. But when it's down to the very last game of the season, every one of those games counts. Make them all big. Don't count anybody out.
All right, well, the conference trail begins tonight with Ozark. We'll be watching exactly what goes on tonight and in the weeks to come. Coach Absher, thank you so much for joining us. This has traditionally been a pretty tough battle. Do you expect anything any different tonight?
I wouldn't. I'm just hoping to keep that shotgun they got over on that sideline. They shoot that shotgun up every time they score. I hope we don't have to hear that very much.
All right, thanks, Coach, for joining us.
All right, thank you.
I wonder if Buck Lewis had any idea as to what he was starting when he sold his first Ford back in 1946. He was on the square in Fayetteville. Then Tom and Herb Lewis made the move to the current location on North College back in 1969. But through all those years, a Lewis has always been at the helm, and that tradition continues today. It's that kind of family value and heritage that makes Lewis can come at you from a lot of different directions, and you need to be prepared with the proper insurance. Let John Galligan of the Galligan Insurance Alliance make sure that you, your loved ones, and your home and all that's near and dear to you is properly covered. You see, the Galligan Insurance Alliance is an independent insurance agent and allows him the flexibility to shop the very best policy at the very best price, and this gives you the coverage and the peace of mind that you need at the rate that fits your budget. It's the best case scenario when it comes to covering all that is near and dear to you. Check them out on Facebook or drop by the website GalliganInsuranceAlliance.com, and you can always call 479-282-0605, 479-282-0605, the Galligan Insurance Alliance.
Okay, Zach, we're back, and it's time to look around the league, brought to you by Prairie Grove Christian Church. And Zach, as we look around the league, I think the one that you mentioned earlier is the one I'm looking forward to tonight is Lincoln and Berryville. And the reason is Lincoln has had 3 very impressive wins. Now, the question is Lincoln that good, or was the competition that bad? And in Berryville's case, they come in 2-1 with a victory over West Fork, which, West Fork is 0-3. A close loss to 3A tough boy Charleston, and then a very close a victory last week over Heber Springs. So I think Berryville has a little something. This will be a nice read on both of those teams.
Yeah, and if you're into comparing, wins and losses, and Berryville hung around with Charleston. Ozark played Charleston last week, and Charleston got the better of them pretty good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the score of that one is. I think we're going to get a pretty good idea how far along Lincoln is. I think they're definitely coming, but I don't know if they've got the muscle to hang with the really big boys in the 1-4A. But they should contend for a playoff spot. And I'm also interested to see how Farmington does. That'll last week they tied Paris. I don't know how you do that, but that happened, and that's kind of I'm sure that they're going to come out ready to go this week.
Well, Zach, I'm looking out at the band for just a minute. And I hope our camera people can take a look at the band. And there is an alumni night, and I'm seeing some alumni out on the field to help play in the band tonight. I think that's pretty neat. I definitely see a couple of brother combos down there, and a father-son, and just kind of neat to see
and a guy
this
in a
reunion.
tux.
And a guy
and
in
you
a
don't
tux.
see that every
That's
night.
impressive. That's impressive. The tux is impressive. But in looking at some other games tonight, Zach, Farmington, our rival just down the road, they take on a 2-1 Gentry team. Farmington 2-0-1 with a tie last week against Paris, a victory over Huntsville, and a victory over West Fork.
I got a feeling, I'm not sure exactly where Farmington's head is, and I got a feeling Gentry's going to make that a lot more uncomfortable than Farmington would like.
Yeah, Gentry's going to come into that game with a very interesting, I think we've kind of talked about some potential surprise team. One Berryville, the other one Gentry, and I think when I was reading Berryville's scores off a while ago, I think those were Gentry's that I was reading off. I was looking at the wrong place in my notes, but Gentry comes into that game tonight. I'm really interested to see, because I think that your surprise team all along has been Berryville. I've mentioned to you that I think Gentry may have something this year, so it'll be interesting. And then the other game, one of the surprise team in a negative fashion, I guess, is Gravett coming in 0-3. You've mentioned them a couple times. They're going against P Ridge. P Ridge comes in 2-1, but their victories against two 3A schools, Elkins 27-14 and Greenland 48-12. Their loss came to Green Forest, and which is another 3A school. Gravett comes in. They lost to Lamar, a 3A school. Boonville, who, I'm not sure where Boonville is for sure, because they beat Gravett pretty well, or Ozark pretty well, but so did Charleston last week. So yeah, we're all over the place here. And then but Gravett comes into this game, and then they played Siloam Spring okay last week. So
I think Gravett gets the ship righted this week and gets going in the right direction. A lot of seniors back on that team. That's the formula. A lot of seniors, and that's the formula for victory.
Well, I also had an opportunity to speak with a Gravett fan today, and they believe they're ready to turn that. So let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about our game tonight as we go to break.
Something's missing. Your life just seems to have that little something that hasn't fallen into place. And you've tried all the world has to offer, and you still have that empty feeling. Does it sound way too familiar? Well, Prairie Grove Christian Church invites you to experience God on a personal level. And don't worry about being judged. We all have sinned and fall short of the glory. But at Prairie Grove Christian Church, we're all about loving God, loving others, and serving others. And PGCC has something for every member of the family. Kids, youth, adults, and more. And 2 services on Sunday that you're sure to find one that fits your schedule and your needs. Simply put, God tells us to seek Him first, and all these things will be added unto you. What are all these things? It's called a Christian life, and we invite you to feel the difference this Sunday at Prairie Grove Christian Church. Take a stroll down memory lane as you stride into Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, where things are done the old-fashioned way. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and even late night, you'll find only the best. Breakfast to die for, a lunch offering fresh burgers and fries, and dinner platters that are sure to keep you coming back for more. And did we mention hand-dipped shakes, as well as a great selection of desserts? It all awaits you at Steak and Shake, located just south of the mall. Steak and Shake, life needs flavor.
Zach, as we look at tonight's game and big keys tonight for Ozark and Prairie Grove.
Well, I think if you start with Ozark, that 0-3, you've just got to put that behind you. I'm going to quote a great literary figure from American literature, Pumbaa from The Lion King. You have to put your past in the behind, okay? 3 games in, don't matter. Start tonight. You got 7 games to make. Everything that they want is still out in front of them. They can win a conference championship. They can win a state championship. They can make the playoffs. Everything they want to do is still out in front of them. Put your past in the behind. Doesn't matter. As far as strategically going, I think Ozark's got to throw the football. Prairie Grove's given up about 160 yards per game. They had one really rough game through the air. That was against Morrilton. And I think if they're going to have a chance, they're not going to be able to run the football at Prairie Grove all night long. They're going to have to throw it. They've got to minimize their mistakes. Mistakes lead to morale problems. You get them a couple of quick turnovers like West Fork had last week. This game could get out of hand really, really fast. Big one for Ozark tonight. I think they can own the special teams. As maligned as Prairie Grove's kickoff coverage has been, get this. Prairie Grove to this point has not allowed 1 yard, not one, in punt returns.
Wow.
That is, they are at 0. So if Ozark could get something in the return game, whether it be kickoff or punt returns, they could get some things going. And then I think the one thing that Ozark did last year for 3 quarters was they made it very difficult for Prairie Grove to run the football. I think they have to do that again tonight. Prairie Grove does not throw the ball well. 8 or 9 guys in the box, make them throw it. Don't let Logan and Nick get loose and create big plays, and I think they can have a shot.
Well, I'll tell you, Zach, as I look at this series with these two, one of the things I went to our research department, and one of the things I found out from them is that last year was Prairie Grove's first victory over Ozark in history. Ozark and Prairie Grove had played in 91 and 92. Ozark winning both of those. And then in 2001, one of the great upsets, Prairie Grove went into that game, into the playoffs. It was a playoff game. Ozark came in 5-5. Prairie Grove undefeated. Ozark on this very field upset Prairie Grove 13-8. And then the series kind of renewed 10 years later when Ozark joined the conference. First 2 years, 14-8 Ozark, 13-10 in a great game in 2011, and then this past year in 2012,
which was pretty much the same game until the fourth quarter when Prairie Grove scored 20 points in the fourth quarter and put the game away.
It just exploded. It was funny. I looked at this. All the other games that they've played, if you add up Ozark's, they were all close. 13-21, 18-13. Prairie Grove's one victory was a landslide. And the points, if you add up the points, we've outscored just because of the one landslide because the other games were so close. But Ozark has a great tradition. And one of the things I would say tonight is that I don't think, just because Ozark comes in 0-3, I think they come in with a lot of pride. They'll come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, and that's just the kind of pride I think they have down there. We've been down there a couple times doing the webcast, and they always have you can tell that city loves their football, and I believe they'll come here tonight with a pride and really try to get their season started off.
For Prairie Grove, if Ozark doesn't get your attention, no one will. Ozark went to the state finals last year. These are 2 of the 4 teams that made it, to the state quarter or semifinals, excuse me. And these are 2 very proud programs, and Ozark's going to fight like heck to get this thing back to even or get their first win of the year and get to 1-0 in the conference. As far as Prairie Grove goes, I think it's pretty simple. You got to keep the pressure on. Teams that are 0-3. You can do some things, and if you can get the ball rolling early, you can keep the pressure on, and I think Ozark will fold. A big one for me is do what you do, run the football. That means number 26, number 7, and Jacob's got to get loose on a couple of long runs. And then this is a surprising stat. Prairie Grove's been outscored in the second half this year, 33-26.
Wow.
They've got to own the second half. Now, a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that starters didn't play a lot in the second half. But they've got to start to own the second half. You got to come out fired up in the third quarter and get things done. Prairie Grove outscoring teams in the first quarter 69-20. So a fast start by Prairie Grove could lead to some things as we head down into the second, third quarters. Hey, the guy with the gun is here.
Wow.
Yeah, the Billy made it up the hill. I'm excited. I was looking for him earlier.
The hillbilly
with the gun made it.
The hillbilly is here. And, I'm looking out on the field. The kids, the RTS, the student section at Prairie Grove, every week they have a theme. This week it's America, and you look out there and you see the red, white, and blue.
That's not America. It's just America.
America. But they're out there in the red, white, and blue tonight. Well, let's take another break, and we'll come back to you for some final thoughts before kickoff.
Clorox. Just hearing the name and you automatically think of the word clean. And Clorox is a lot more than just bleach. The Clorox family of products has something for the home, the business, professional grade, and more. No matter what the environment, Clorox has the product you need to meet your unique challenges. From the bathroom and the kitchen with Pine Sol and 409 to the laundry room with the standard Clorox bleach. And even if you're on the go with the Clorox wipes, you know the name stands for clean. Dirt and germs don't stand a chance as long as you're equipped with the family of Clorox products. Clorox, proud sponsors of Tiger athletics and activities. Everett Chevrolet is the home of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road today, the Chevy Silverado. And the 2014 Silverado has been totally redesigned, and it's better than ever before. And right now, the selection of Silverados at Everett Chevrolet has never been better. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, extended cab, crew cabs, and every color you can imagine with options to die for. So make the short drive to Everett Chevrolet just off of I-540 at Elm Springs Road. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Okay, Zach, about 3 minutes here before kickoff. Final thoughts for tonight's game.
Minimize your penalties. Prairie Grove 22 penalties in 3 games. Their opponent's just 7. So that's we've got to even that out a little bit.
That's 7 penalties a game, and you know what? That's not skewed for one game. I mean, it's been about 7 every game, haven't they?
They've really struggled in the penalty department. I know they got into double digits against Morrilton, but that's got to turn around and win the turnover battle, run the football, and I think they're going to be just fine tonight.
Speaking of Morrilton, just real quickly, Morrilton takes on Shiloh tonight. I'll be interested as we go tonight how that score progresses. Just more from a fan of high school football.
Did you happen to check out the Lavaca Golden Arrows? I looked at that today. Lavaca's 2-1.
Wow.
Their only loss right here.
Well,
we thought they were better.
Yeah, and we thought they were better. I actually thought they made some mistakes early in the game with Prairie Grove. And
they could have made that game a lot closer.
Absolutely. That game was a lot closer than the score as far as and they had some decent size on there tonight, or that night too. Also tonight, we want to recognize our East Lab students who are helping out. We have Danny Davis and Patrick Jordan. They'll be producing for us. Joel Young, James Middlebrook, Ethan Sams, Casey Stamps, and Sam Dodd all helping out on our camera. And I think we do have, we may be having an on-the-field camera tonight as well.
Have you seen that thing?
It's sweet.
Looks like a giant bug. It's got antennas and all sorts of stuff. Brett Gillum back in the lineup after sustaining an ankle injury and missing last week against West Fork, so that's good news. We'll get the Manimal back.
Well, tonight, Zach, one of the things that will be interesting to see is I think because Ozark is 0-3 coming into the game, Prairie Grove 2-1 with their one loss coming to 5A Morrilton, I think the early part of the game is very important. I think it'll set the tone. If Prairie Grove jumps on them quick and gets them down, it could be a long night for Ozark. If Prairie Grove, who is the favorite, lets Ozark hang around a little while, all of a sudden, it's a different ball game. Yeah. Here come the Prairie Grove Tigers. Prairie Grove enters the game tonight 2-1. Conference opener for both teams tonight. We have a big crowd here up in front of us, Zach.
Yeah, we do. It feels like a playoff game almost, but it's conference season. That's what you expect. Prairie Grove, by the way, ranked 6th this week. Getting no love from Central Arkansas, by the way. I keep looking at their Super 6 on Wednesdays, and it's funny, but they're not there.
And there is the Ozark Hillbillies coming on the field, and their fans cheering them on as they come on. And
Prairie Grove did win the toss. They're going to get the ball first. And, Ozark struggled defensively. There's no two ways about it. Last week, you can almost give them a pass last week. They faced Charleston and Ty Story, and they throw the ball all over the place. You're not going to see players like that very often. But they have been beat up. They have been pushed around. And this is the night where Prairie Grove's got to do that. And they've got to keep the pressure on for 4 quarters, because when we get into the second half that Ozark's going to keep playing.
And that's it. They've like we talked about before, they're well coached. A lot of pride in that program. They will fight to the end. Now the Tigers getting ready to receive the kick. Logan Bartholomew.
I sent you that article today on the best rivalries in
Oh,
the
yeah.
state. This one's getting there. This one is definitely getting there.
Yeah, it was the tough thing is this has really been a great rivalry because the games have been close and they've been meaningful.
Yeah.
In the 4 years, this will be the 4th meeting since they've been in the conference. It's been meaningful. Unfortunately, Ozark goes back to the 4A next year.
Do they?
And yeah, they'll go back, and so we will miss this rivalry. Maybe it's something we pick up in preseason.
Yeah, well, Lavaca's off the schedule next year, and so is Morrilton.
But Farmington will enter that on the front end.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
we'll have
Good
to play
point.
Farmington,
Yep.
so that's going to replace one of them. We have to find another opponent. Could be Ozark.
Yeah,
Because they'll be looking for some as well.
the guy who wrote the article, a friend of mine, he said Prairie Grove and Farmington, the 4th best rivalry in the state, is the best rivalry in Washington County.
And here we go over the Springdale Fayetteville rivalry. And there comes the kick. Received by Eli Lopez. Eli Lopez looking for a little run room. Look at him, he's dancing around. Gets up around the 36, 37-yard line.
He's nifty, isn't he?
He was. So the Tigers are going to start their first series at their own 37-yard line. Nice return.
We'll see if Coach Absher's kept anything back for conference season. Nodia gets a start at tight end. There's a wrinkle.
On the other tight end, though, is Big Dylan Sainer, and there's the first carry. Bobby Cat over the 40. Bobby Cat. He's going to be knocked out. They're going to mark it at the 44. A 7-yard pickup for Bobby Cat. And the Tigers doing what they do best.
And this is what Ozark has struggled with.
They ran
is running is stopping the run.
And Zach, they ran that to the short side of the field that time.
They've opened, I think, every game with that play. It's just a wingback reverse, and you get Bobby Cat the ball, and there's nothing wrong with getting Bobby the ball.
2nd down, 3 for the Tigers. The double wing. This time it's going to go to
Same
Logan
play.
Bartholomew. Logan, he's going to break one tackle.
You get about one out of that.
Nice defensive play that time. They were looking for Logan. Several of the Hillbillies in on the tackle.
I want to bring up a 3rd and a long 2, maybe a short 3.
Chase Cootie leading the Hillbillies on the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. Ball right at the 45. They start at their 37. First minute of the ball games, if you're just joining us. Prairie Grove's first possession. There is Nick Sugg right at the middle. He's got the first and more. He's into Hillbilly territory at about the 48-yard line. Let's see where they're going to spot it. Looks like they're going to mark it at the 49. No, they're going to put it at the 48. So the Tigers get the first down there in Hillbilly territory. 11:03 to go here in the first.
You got to not to give away too many game plan secrets here, but Prairie Grove has not completed a pass to an outside receiver yet. You got to wonder if Ozark's basically just going to leave one guy on him and commit everybody else to the box.
Coming out wide here, that's Elliott Chamberlain, or as you better refer to him as a Stork. And there is Bartholomew, and kind of rough going for Logan so far tonight.
He had a big game last year against Ozark. I'm sure they're really aware of him. He had over 100 yards rushing, and he had a big touchdown in the 3rd quarter that kind of got things going.
Bobby Cat comes in to replace J.D. Speed. Pick up about 3 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 for Prairie Grove. Ball at the Ozark 45.
Yep, we're slow getting the play in here. We're down to 10.
Aaron Price
11.
brings it in with 10 seconds to go on the play clock. And Tigers come up the line quickly. We're down to 6. It's going to be close, 4. And they do get it off. There's Nick Sugg right up the middle.
There
Sugg!
he goes.
Look at Nick! Look at Nick! There he's at the 20! Oh, and a
Oh,
shoestring tackle! Oh, Jake Simpson gets Nick, but not before he gets down to the 10-yard line.
It's just a quick fullback trap, and everybody pursues to the wingbacks on the outside thinking they're going wide, and lo and behold, Nick's up the middle for a sizable gain.
Nick Sugg gets down to the 11-yard line, so the Tigers can get a first down without getting a touchdown.
But 34.
And a big run there for Nick Sugg.
And I think if you're Prairie Grove, this is exactly what you wanted. It was time-consuming, power football, run the ball, take some time off the clock, and just shove it down their throats if you can.
Well, they've had 5 plays, all running plays thus far. And they are waiting for Logan Bartholomew tonight. Number 46, Joe Miner. Miner, 5'7", 157, and boy, he was all over him. That's going to be about a 3-yard loss, Zach.
Yeah, they did this last year with the sweeps and the outside runs. They were shooting linebackers through the gaps, trying to cut that stuff off. And what does come open is the fullback traps and the dives. That sort of thing will come open. You'll have room up the middle to run. Well,
the question will be predictable. Every time they stop the outside run, we've gone right back up the middle. Will they be looking for it this time from the shotgun?
There it is. There's Jacob.
Jacob Storley
Just
breaks a couple tackles.
going.
They actually defended that well, just missed the tackle. Jacob runs the ball strong, picks up about 9 yards, and going to make it a little more interesting at 3rd down and 5. Wow, nice run by Jacob. He broke 2 tackles right there together.
It's an 8-yard run, and he ran over some people. And that's Jacob's game, is the read option. And if you get him around the corner, he's a dangerous runner.
It was a nice read that time. They did close down, but they defended it well. They looked at the fullback. They had Jacob. They had the pitch man, but Jacob there's Nick Sugg. Sugg, give him 6.
Touchdown.
Yes,
hey! There you go.
Nick Sugg hits pay dirt, and the Tigers with 8:19 left.
Hard to argue with that.
Absolutely. That is another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. J.D. Speed into try, Elliott Chamberlain to hold.
I was watching J.D. during warm-ups. He was hitting the ball well during warm-ups.
Don't jinx him, Zach.
I just said he was hitting it well.
Good snap, kick on the way.
Yes,
and
sir.
It's good. With 8:19 to go here in the first quarter, the score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 7, Ozark Hillbillies 0.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Well, Zach, that was another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. You know, next week, let's have a read so we can kind of see how many they've had to sponsor so far. But that's the first one of the night.
That'll be the stat of the week. 8 plays, 63 yards, 3:41 off the clock. Touchdown run by Nick Sugg. That's a great way to start the game, isn't it?
Nick already 3 carries, 48 yards, along of 34. But, all of his carries have been
very productive to this point.
I think he's gotten a first down or a touchdown on every carry. Here comes the kick. This time it's by Clement. Fielded. That is Cootie. Chase Cootie gets it out to the 34-yard line. Well, now Ozark's first opportunity with the ball.
Well, you'd love to see a 3-and-out here, wouldn't you? Keep the pressure on.
They spot the ball at the 32. Jake Simpson, the quarterback, he made the tackle a while ago to save Nick from getting the end zone, but Nick found it 3 plays later. Plenty of time on the clock. They're eating all of it, and now,
oh
boy,
I thought we got a face mask there.
Gage Battles surrounded. It's Nodier, it's Sainer, Diebold, Reynolds. They're all in there.
And this is what Ozark wants to do. It's not necessarily a fast-paced Oregon-style offense, but they don't huddle. They prevent you from substituting.
Well, Battles is in the backfield with Simpson. And there's flag on the play this time. That's going to be a illegal procedure against Ozark. It's going to be 2nd and 17. Zach, you remember, I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, they came out in this same, spread, no huddle offense, and then in the second half they went to a wishbone.
That was 2 years ago.
And they just
they just
drove
wore
it down our throats.
Yeah, they just wore Prairie Grove down.
And the running back that year.
I'll have to look it up at halftime.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. He was all conference. He ran for like 1,400 yards that year. He's a really, really good back, but they don't have that kind of weaponry this year.
2nd and 17, and now Simpson rolling to his left. Throws, ball is overthrown, intended for number 15, Coleman McClure. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 17. Now Ozark is in where they don't want to be right now, Zach. They didn't want to start by giving a touchdown and being in 3rd and really long.
Two things about this. You know the pressure's coming. You got an inexperienced quarterback. Your line's kind of shaky. You know, this is one of those, chuck and duck and look out.
And Prairie Grove has had 2 or 3 touchdowns off of interceptions this year.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. You can't hang one up.
Simpson from the shotgun. Battles, moves out in the slot. So he's under pressure. You called it, Zach. Wow, he had him
play
open.
Back there, Jake. Yep.
Just overthrew him, and then.
No, he's not. Simpson's not good when he's moving. If his feet are set and he can throw the ball, he's okay. But when he's moving around and he's unsettled, it's not his strength.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 17 for the Hillbillies, and Tigers should get good field position. Back deep is Logan Bartholomew. He's going to be right at the 50. Looks like he's going to move back a little bit, but Prairie Grove should get excellent field position. It's a low kick. Bartholomew is going to just let it go out of bounds. Rolls out at the 46-yard line of Prairie Grove, so the Tigers will begin 1st and 10 with the ball at their own 46.
There's a 29-yard punt for McClure, and you're right. They gave Prairie Grove great field position. Here comes the offense again, and, as we talked about in the pregame, keep the pressure on.
Well, I'm looking at our offensive line, and I'll tell you, they've done a great job. You got Andrew Carrillo, number 77, Connor West, number 50, Dakota Hutchinson, 52, our center, Boyd Sparkman. And the other guard, Jackson Diebold, who also plays defense. So the line is there along with Dylan Sainer at tight end. Prairie Grove full backfield. This is the wingback. There's Bobby Cat. Look at Bobby Cat. Go Bobby Cat. Bobby Cat inside the 25. He got a flag with the face mask.
Yep.
And Bobby Cat went to the official and said, hey, he got my mask.
I don't know if maybe it's just me, but they have gotten more big plays out of that play this year than I've ever seen them get. And I think it has everything to do with Bobby Cat.
Well, I'll tell you something, Zach. We mentioned earlier the 2001 game when Ozark came here. That year, Prairie Grove had speed in the backfield, and they ran this play a lot, and it did a lot for them. That's going to be the big mark-off, 15-yarder, so that's going to go down to the 12. And the Tigers, after one play, have moved from the 46 down to the Ozark 12. And with 7:10 left, Prairie Grove trying to get up early and quick on Ozark.
They've hit that play and remember they kept hitting Morrilton with that play over and over and over again, and Morrilton just had no idea where the ball was.
From the eye, J.D. Speed in the back. There is a keeper by Jacob Storley. Storley, give! A fumble. The ball's going to go out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. Storley.
You gotta be careful.
Well, Storley was trying to reach over there. Let's see where they spot it. They may actually have a first down.
I believe they do.
Let's see where they spot. No, he's outside the.
They gave him the 2-yard line on that.
I think they gave him the 2, so he's going to be short of the first. Actually, just inside the 2, but second and short. 6:51 to go here in the first quarter, and Tigers are knocking on the door again. J.D. Speed and Nick Sugg in the backfield. There is Sugg. He's hit. He fights. I think he's in. Give him 6. Give Nick Sugg his second 6 of the night. And Nick Sugg scores, and the Tigers now 13-0. And another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco.
This game is a whole lot different than the last two, isn't it?
Yeah, this looks like the fourth quarter of last year's game with
really
the quick
does.
scores. But now J.D. Speed in to try the extra point. 6:46 to go here in the first quarter. Elliott Chamberlain to hold. Another good snap, kick on the way, and that's low, but it's good.
It's good, it'll work.
With 6:46 to go, Prairie Grove 14, Ozark 0, back after these messages.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Okay.
That drive was 3 plays, 54 yards, helped by a personal foul penalty, but Prairie Grove looks sharp.
Clement preparing to kick. And a good kick. Going to be fielded right about the 10-yard line by Cootie. Cootie again on the return, and it's going to be wrapped up just before he gets to the 30-yard line. Chamberlain in there on the tackle. Cole McClellan also helping out. So Tigers, good gang tackling. Aaron Price. A lot of guys in there helping out. And Sam Dodd. Sam Dodd's always around the ball in those kickoffs.
Mayday. Love Mayday. Good player.
6:38 to go here in the first. Prairie Grove already up 14-0.
No, I think we may be hitting critical mass here if you're Ozark. You do not want to go 3 and out again.
1st and 10, ball at their own, just inside their own 30. There's Battles. Battles is going to be hit by Nodier.
Great play by Brandon. Great
Brandon
play.
Nodier tracked that one down. Eli Lopez over there to help out. But there's no gain on that play. If there is, it's less than a yard.
Battles is kind of their do-everything. He can play a little quarterback, receiver. He can play running back. And, if Ozark's going to get back into this, he's going to have to be the guy.
If you're watching, please go to pgtigersonline.com and let us know where you're watching from. Henry, who's usually down in Russellville, he's in the crowd tonight. Low snap. And now.
Yep, he's loose. Good
and a
tackle.
nice tackle. Bobby Cat brings down Simpson. Simpson made a nice run there. He's close to first down. Are they giving that a first down?
They are.
Wow. Boy, they didn't. Wow. They should have asked for a measure on that before he moved him down.
I think he was short.
Yeah, he was short. He was short by a yard, Zach. Let's see. We got David Lehman watching from.
They might be talking about this.
Bolivar.
I think they're talking about this.
Yeah, if you're wrong, just move it up a yard.
Move the football. That's fine.
You'd like everyone an update on a former Tiger, Stephen Thomas, and I'll get to that in just a second. In motion is Jenkins. Sends him rolling to his right, looking downfield. He's going to take it and run again, and Eli Lopez there to get him, and so is Nodier. But looking at David Lehman says Stephen Thomas, a former fullback and graduated, is in San Diego boot camp and for the Marines right now. And just like to ask all Tiger fans to pray for him, and I agree with that and appreciate Stephen Thomas and his service for our country, especially tonight on America Night. Phil Hudspeth, Jalen Lacey Beeks' grandfather watching. Simpson again rolling to his right, looking deep. Oh, that's up. Wow.
Oh, great play, Jacob.
Storley and Bartholomew on the coverage.
On a 2nd and short like that, that's not a bad play. The throw was a little dangerous. If Jacob gets a better break on that, we're going the other way.
Again, Gainesville, Georgia is where Phil Hudspeth's watching from. And Georgia's got an interesting game tomorrow against LSU.
Yeah, they got a little game against LSU, don't they? That'll be a small affair in Athens.
3rd down and a long 3 to go. And a bad snap.
Bad snap.
And there it is.
Yep.
Oh, no. Oh, wait.
He's got it.
Yeah, it's still a fight.
I think the Manimals got it.
Brett Gillen, the Manimal. Hey! And the Tigers, I'll tell you, bad snap really hurt there.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Wow. And now the Tigers have the ball at the 28.
Whew, that's we talked about minimizing the mistakes. You can't have that. You're putting yourself in a position to go down and 21 to nothing.
And the House of Pain jump is on, and the students are excited as the Tigers with 5:03 have a chance to go up 3 scores, and 3 scores early. Tigers, here is Storley with his first pass, looking deep to the end zone. Here's this Matt Stork, yes! Elliott, give him 6!
What a
Give
great
him
play,
6!
what a great play.
Elliott Chamberlain.
You don't complete a pass to a wide receiver until conference season starts. There you go.
And the Matt Stork is excited, Zach.
By the way, odd stat, that's Prairie Grove's 8th pass completion of the year. All of them have gone for first downs or touchdowns.
Unbelievable. And the Tigers now up 20-0. Another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. And now Clement will try the extra point out of the hole of Chamberlain. The kick is on the way. I think that's wide left.
He
He's got it. That was close.
Had a little fade on it.
You had a fade.
And I'm not talking about a kid and play fade. I'm talking about a little golf fade on that one.
Well, with 4:55 to go, the score, Prairie Grove 21, Ozark 0. Back after this.
I wonder if Buck Lewis had any idea as to what he was starting when he sold his first Ford back in 1946. He was on the square in Fayetteville. Then Tom and Herb Lewis made the move to the current location on North College back in 1969. But through all those years, a Lewis has always been at the helm, and that tradition continues today. It's that kind of family value and heritage that makes Lewis Automotive the place to buy your next vehicle. Be it a Ford, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram, or Jeep, new or used, you can still find a Lewis standing behind every single deal. Award-winning service, 6 locations and over 1,000 vehicles. It's amazing. A lot has changed, but the Lewis heritage and tradition continues. Lewis Automotive, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas since 1946.
Now J.D. Speed into kick. It's funny, they're alternating. One kicks off, one does the extra point, and they've gone back and forth. J.D. Speed with the kick.
Oh
man. No.
They
and
sure
they got
did.
It. Oh, no.
They sure did. Wow.
Wow. Little surprised by that, Zach.
I've been watching Prairie Grove a lot of years. I haven't seen them do the onside kick very often, and I mean, it was perfectly executed. Caught him napping.
Now J.D. Speed. Speed! J.D. Speed! J.D. Speed!
Still going.
Inside the 25, down to close to the 20-yard line, and the Tigers have the ball 1st and 10 at the 21. And you have to wonder on that onside kick, Zach, if it's just something they wanted to see if they could do, practice something.
It's not something they do very often. But I mean, if you're looking to go for the throat now, this is certainly the time.
J.D. Speed, Nick Sugg in the backfield, rolling. No, he gives it to Sugg. Sugg's going to pick up about 5 yards.
Nick's over here.
No, that wasn't Nick, was it?
No, I'm not sure who was that. J.D.
J.D. Speed. Faked me out totally on that play.
I lost the ball on that one.
Still picks up about 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6. 4:10 to go here in the first quarter, and Tigers are up 21-0 already.
Well, I think we can, if Prairie Grove keeps this up, I think they've officially put the 1-4A on notice.
There's
we're
a
here.
pass. There's Nick Sugg out of the backfield. Sugg, 5, 10. Give him 6 for the 3rd time tonight. Nick Sugg finds pay dirt, and the Tigers are up 27-0. And another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. 3:50 to go. Tigers in total control of this game.
This looks like a different team than even we saw last week and the week before against Morrilton when they played very, very well. This team looks good. Really, really, really good.
Executing extremely well. Everything seems crisp, timely. And now Clement for the extra point. Nice snap. Kick is on the way. Good with 3:50 to go. Prairie Grove 28, Ozark 0. Back after this.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Zach, JD Speed to kick. Ozark ready for anything now, and there's a deep kick going to go back.
Somebody else a shot to return
Fielder
it.
by Asbeck, and he's tackled. I'm sorry, that was Ryan Jenkins on the return.
I think if you're on the far sideline wearing purple, you're in shock.
28-0, 3:43.
I don't think they expected this. I mean, this is impressive from Prairie Grove. That's the only way to put it. I'm in shock at the moment. They look really, really good.
Simpson hands to Battles. Battles gets maybe a yard, and Sugg and Gillum on the stop. And he no gain on the play essentially, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. Now we talked about regardless that we felt like Ozark would fight and fight all the way to the end, and Prairie Grove has got him down quick. We talked about the onset that could set a tone for this game. It's set.
You just kind of wonder where their heads are at this point. You come in, you're struggling, and then all of a sudden, lightning flash.
And now
man,
they're just having a hard time with the snap. And that wasn't a bad snap, Zach. He bobbled that one. That was not a bad snap.
Let's see what the penalty is.
I think one of the things I noticed on that, he was trying to take off before the ball got there.
Yeah,
and
he's looking downfield before he gets the ball in his hands.
Illegal motion. Penalties decline, and that's going to bring up 3rd and long. And so, boy, if it can go wrong tonight for Ozark, it's going wrong.
They're just, they are not the same team they were last year. I mean, they were cool and calm and collected even the last 2 years. And, they very well may get this thing righted, but, they're struggling right now just to do the basic things.
There's Battles. He's going to get some of that yardage back. He picks up almost 8-9 yards, but it's going to bring up 4th and 10 or 4th and 9, depending on the spot. So Ozark into punt again with 2:46 to go. Now back to receive the punt is Logan Bartholomew, standing right at his own 45. Tigers will get excellent field position.
Good kick.
Good kick. Logan's going to field it at the 45. He's going to get to the 45 of Ozark, and that's where he's going to be tackled. Nice tackle, open field tackle there by Jacob Kundadal. So Tigers now in Ozark territory already. The Hillbillies have been shell-shocked here early with 2:36 to go in the first. The Tigers.
When Prairie Grove ran the onside kick, I think you and I looked at each other, and if it's in the second half, that's one thing. I mean, in the first quarter, you can pretty much you've got everything at your disposal. Play your game, and you know what? I mean, if they go down and score and go up 35-0, they've really put Ozark. They've just shocked them.
There's Bobby Cat.
He's a load, isn't he?
He's a man-child, and he's tackled by number 51 of the Hillbillies, Ryan Hopper. But Bobby Cat's going to pick up about 4 yards.
I never thought I'd say this in a Prairie Grove Ozark game, but we may start to see some subs here shortly.
I mean, we're at 2:15 in the first quarter.
We're in the first quarter. Forgive me for saying this. This team right now looks better offensively than last year's team. Forgive me for saying that. May lightning strike me down, but, they are clicking.
And now, second man through
Logan.
is Bartholomew.
That's new. That's a
new little wrinkle. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a long 4 for the Tigers. 1:40 to go here in the first quarter. Chamberlain bringing the play in from the sideline.
Prairie Grove 3 out of 3 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
Tigers already with 80 yards rushing in the first.
How about 190 total?
Unbelievable. Passing yards 110. And there is Bartholomew this time.
Yeah, they're going to stick.
Again.
They got him.
Number 4.
Logan's finding it tough in there.
That was as fine of a tackle as USC by Wade Barham. That was a great tackle. Open field, or not open, but he just wrapped him up. That was a nice form tackle.
Got his legs, and now you got 4th and 2, and I would say you're in 4-down territory here.
Tigers, 50 seconds to go here in the first. And now rolling to his right, Storley. And he's going to go down, sacked by number 46, Joe Minor. Nice defensive play that time by Ozark. You see a little bit of momentum there.
They
needed something.
Yeah, they needed a spark, and that was certainly something in their favor.
I'm surprised that Jacob didn't tuck and run there. He had the room to make it. Simpson to Battles, and Battles hitting the backfield first by J.D. Speed.
They're not finding a whole lot in there.
Then Diebold, Boyd Sparkman.
The groundhog.
Actually, Reynolds, Sparkman, and Eli Lopez after J.D. initially hit him and he broke away, but they were all there waiting on him. 15 seconds to go. This will probably be the last play of the first quarter, and it's 28-0. Prairie Grove stopped last time on downs. He may let this thing run, and I think he is. He's going to let it run on out, and that's going to be the end. After 1 quarter of play, the Prairie Grove Tigers 28, Ozark Hillbillies 0. Back after this.
I wonder if Buck Lewis had any idea as to what he was starting when he sold his first Ford back in 19. Love God, love others, and serve others. The simple motto of Prairie Grove Christian Church. Whether it's supporting missionaries in Japan or on the Ivory Coast of Africa or doing mission work in Guatemala or building homes in Mississippi or Alabama or the fun for the entire family of Upward Basketball, you'll find the members seeking to show our love for God through our love for our neighbors. If you're looking for a church home, we invite you to experience PGCC firsthand. We have convenient service times with services on Sunday at 9 and 10:30. And trust us, we have plenty of activities for the kids. Prairie Grove Christian Church, serving Western Washington County and beyond. Love God, love others, and serve others. Prairie Grove Christian Church.
Can he catch him? No, and wow. And after stopping Prairie Grove on downs, they open up the second quarter.
Yeah, Eli took a bad route into the receiver. The corner fell down, and
and a nice
it's
play.
6 points. We knew they'd fight.
Ryan Jenkins on the reception there, and just like that, we start the second quarter, and we talked about Ozark is not going to lay down.
No, they're not. They're a very proud program. They might be shocked, but I think we're going to see. I think we'll see a little bit more out of them before this is over.
Jacob Tooley,
straight on.
I love it. Fred Blitnikoff. George Blanda, it's blocked. The old George Blanda kicker. I said Fred Blitnikoff, who played on that team, but Blanda used to kick that straight foot.
I'm trying to Tom Dempsey, who was the last straight-on kicker? Steve Little?
Dempsey still has the longest field goal, or tied.
With Jason Elam and Seabass. But, man, I'm in a little bit of shock that Prairie Grove comes out of the timeout, and whammo, it's 28-6.
Just like that, 28-6.
You think they'll try an onside kick?
They have to think about it at least. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Sure is.
Boy, he's lined up like he's going straight over there.
I think they're going to try.
There's a big hole.
Yeah, well, Nick's coming in.
Oh.
I think they're going to pop it right to him. I don't know why teams are doing that, but they keep kicking it right to him. Nice kick. That took too long to develop.
Yeah, it took way too long to develop. They read that well. Bobby Cat was hit pretty quickly. Ball went initially to Blake Falk. And so, you know, if Ozark were to get a stop here, Zach, and score, all of a sudden we're back in the ball game.
Yeah, this becomes a lot more interesting. But they've got to get their defense lined up. Prairie Grove's pretty much had their way. 19 plays in the first quarter, 184 yards. They ran for 138 yards in the first quarter. They're averaging almost 10 yards per play.
Ozark's got pass for 46.
Pass for 46. We did get that corrected.
Okay, here is Storley, full house backfield.
Nick straight ahead.
Right up the middle. You know what makes Prairie Grove, their offense work is you've got that nice pop up the middle. You can go outside with Bartholomew. That little counter-like play they're running now with J.D. Speed a couple times with Logan, and then you've got Bobby Cat coming back on the wing back reverse, and then every now and then you got Storley keeping it, and then maybe him throwing a pass. So it's very diverse.
It's a different looking offense than we saw last year where you can see him spread 5 wide. We don't see that anymore, but this offense probably has more options.
Wow, nice tackle there.
Yep.
Nice job. I think that was Dakota Robinson. And maybe a gain of a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down, long 4 for the Tigers.
This is, we're tightening up a little bit. 3rd downs so far, Prairie Grove doing all right. They're 2 out of 3 on 3rd down.
Yet to punt tonight, but if they don't convert here, they will be punting. And Ozark has to be thinking, hey, we're not out of this thing yet.
Now, once they get that offense going, you can make some things happen. Of course, when you got JD, of course, when you got a big battering ram just to run the football, that'll work too.
JD Speed gets the ball up to about the 38, and the Tigers have a 1st down. That was an important 1st down, I think, for Prairie Grove, because a stop there and a little momentum for Ozark. Now this drive could be painstakingly long for the Hillbillies, and
yeah, they had a little bit of momentum there, and we talked about it before the game started. You know, if Ozark's going to make hay here, they're going to have to throw the ball. They're not going to run it all day on Prairie Grove.
Now here's Storley on a keeper. He's hit and dropped just past the 40. Nice tackle.
They've got one guy committed to him to spy him when he runs the ball. The middle linebacker didn't even pay attention to what was happening between the tackles. He was headed right for Jacob.
You told me something before the game. You talked about size. And looking at that defense, there's one guy there, Justin Tolbert, who's 10th grader, 6'1", 290. But after that, there's not a lot of size on that defense.
This is not the same team. They were big the last 2 years, big and physical, and they don't have that. They don't have that beef this year. Prairie Grove looks the same.
Storley, this time, big Dylan Sainer, he just kind of bounces off. Not much of a gain there. Tackle.
I think he lost something on that one. That's that tight end reverse we saw last week.
Joe Miner.
Oh, we got an injury.
Is that Miner on the floor? Miner made the tackle.
Yeah, he's holding his forearm.
Number 4. Trevor Gorda-Miller. Well, while the player's hurt, let's take a break at this time. The score, Prairie Grove 28, Ozark 6.
Clorox. Just hearing the name and you automatically think of the word clean. And Clorox is a lot more than just bleach. The Clorox family of products has something for the home, the business, professional grade, and more. No matter what the environment, Clorox has the product you need to meet your unique challenges. From the bathroom and the kitchen with Pine Sol and 409 to the laundry room with the standard Clorox bleach. And even if you're on the go with the Clorox wipes, you know the name stands for clean. Dirt and germs don't stand a chance as long as you're equipped with the family of Clorox products. Clorox, proud sponsors of Tiger athletics and activities.
J.D. Speed on that carry. Ball's going to get up to about the 45. That's going to bring up 4th down, so the Tigers are going to have to punt here, I believe. So now that's 2 stops in a row for Ozark.
Yeah, that was just they've tried that draw a couple of times. J.D. scored against Morrilton on that play. And I think here comes Cody Hoskins. It looks like they are going to punt.
J.D. Speed to punt. Logan Bartholomew, the personal protector. Back deep is Battles. There's a fake to Bartholomew. Can he get there? Whoa, I think
Bartholomew
did. Wow,
down.
Prairie Grove a little more aggressive than we're used to seeing.
Well, they're certainly breaking out everything tonight, aren't they? Wow.
They may be sending a message to like other teams that we will throw anything at you.
I don't know that we've seen a lot of tendencies.
Now here's Storley. He's looking deep, and he's got Bobby Cat. Oh, Bobby
He
Cat.
underthrew that one.
Bobby Cat went for the ball, and then he hit the other defender to kind of keep him from catching it, and he's hurt.
Bobby lowered his shoulder and hit me. I'd be hurting too.
I hope it just got the wind. It looks like it's something just got the wind out of him. And we have another player down. We'll be back after this.
Everett Chevrolet is the home of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size truck on the road today, the Chevy Silverado. And the 2014 Silverado has been totally redesigned, and it's better than ever before. And right now, the selection of Silverados at Everett Chevrolet has never been better. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, extended cab, crew cabs, and every color you can imagine with options to die for. So make the short drive to Everett Chevrolet just off of I-540 at Elm Springs Road. Family-owned, customer-friendly, Everett Chevrolet.
Second down and 10 for Prairie Grove after the incomplete pass.
It feels like we've been here forever, and we're not even halfway through the second quarter. There's been so much that's happened.
Now Storley again to pass. This time looking, fumbles the ball, and looks like Sparkman's going to recover it for the Tigers. And so they've got good coverage because Jacob's not, he did a couple of times now he's been scrambling and lost yards and been sacked. 3rd down and 15 now. 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Tigers up 28-6, scored all 28 in the first quarter, and Ozarks outscored them 6-0 here in the second.
First quarter's been Prairie Grove's quarter. Outscoring folks now, some quick math here, 97-20. That's been their quarter.
Now he's rolling to his left, looking, throws, complete to Chamberlain. Chamberlain,
there you go.
Oh, that's second effort.
It's the stork right there.
He's tackled by Battles, but he's going to get close enough that Prairie Grove can now go for it on 4th. They're at the 43. He's going to be short about a yard and a half maybe.
I take back everything I said about not completing passes to outside receivers. Take it all back.
It's going to be 4th and about a yard and a half, and the Tigers are going to go. 6:25 to go here in the first half. An updated score from Farmington, 7-3. Farmington leads Gentry in a close game. There is Sugg.
Yeah, that's Storley.
There's Storley. There's Storley. Jacob. Give Jacob Storley 6. Yes! No flag!
Wow. Jake
And
the Snake.
43 yards. You told me he looked like someone.
I thought he looked a lot like Jake Plummer. I really do.
Wow, Lincoln over Berryville 14-0.
Yeah.
Now here's JD Speed.
I guarantee you, when this score gets reported at some stadiums, this is going to send a ripple through through the 1-4A. That was ugly.
It's 34-6. That was that's bad all over the place. 34-6, Tigers lead 6:06. That's another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. Back after this.
PG Telco is the proud sponsor of PGTigersOnline.com, where you can find out all the very latest of what's going on with all the sports teams right here in Prairie Grove. But PG Telco is more, a lot more. They offer phone, internet, long-distance services, and bundles, making it all affordable. And that includes DirecTV. For your home or office, staying connected to the fast-paced world is as easy as calling PG Telco. Call 846-7200. That's 846-7200. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress.
Speed into kick. Or no, that's Clement. Clement into kick. It's a high kick. Fielded by Battles just inside the 20. Battles gets past the 25. The 30. He gets a little running room. He's going to be tackled. No, knocked out. Wait, still in bounds. Finally brought down by Bobby Cat.
Calling his name a lot tonight, both sides of the ball.
Bobby Cat's going to get the ball out to Battles gets the ball out to the 38. He was brought down by Bobby Cat.
Prairie Grove rush defense tonight, -6 on 9 carries. They have just not allowed Ozark to run the ball at all.
Simpson in the backfield.
Same
quick
play
pass.
they scored on.
And this time he dropped it. Wanted to take off before he got to it.
D-backs got to respond quicker to that. That was open.
That looked like another big gainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if Jenkins catches the ball, that's at least 10.
Second down and 10. Ozark at their own 38. 5:55 to go here in the first, and the Tigers up 34-6. In motion goes Harris, and now throwing on a little bit under pressure.
Yeah, he's not real accurate when he's on the move. When he stands there and throws, he's pretty good. But when you get him moving or off his spot, Prairie Grove can rely. He
had a man open that time. You're right. He's just a little off on the throw, and now
that's a mechanical thing. I mean, he's young. I mean, you can still work with him a little bit.
Third down and 10 now for Ozark.
This is, again, we're into that territory where if you don't convert this, you're giving Prairie Grove the ball back with about 5.5 minutes to go.
Oh, here comes Speed.
Midline option.
And there you
go.
Nice job there by Nick Sugg. Also helping out on that play is Brent Gilliam.
The manimal.
He's going to get to the 41, and it's going to be 4th down and 7, and Ozark's bringing on the punting unit.
So we've seen passes to outside receivers, fake punts, onside kicks out of Prairie Grove in 1/2. I think they got a reverse setup on special teams.
We could see that tonight as well. Bobby Cat and Logan Bartholomew back. A late player coming on, and it's going to be tight for them to get this snap off.
Yep, they're going to call timeout.
Well, let's take the timeout with them. With 5:07 to go here in the first half, Prairie Grove leads Ozark 34-6.
Life can come at you from a lot of different directions, and you need to be prepared with the proper insurance. Let John Galligan of the Galligan Insurance Alliance make sure that you, your loved ones, and your home and all that's near and dear to you is properly covered. You see, the Galligan Insurance Alliance is an independent insurance agent and allows him the flexibility to shop the very best policy at the very best price, and this gives you the coverage and the peace of mind that you need at the rate that fits your budget. It's the best case scenario when it comes to covering all that is near and dear to you. Check them out on Facebook or drop by the website GalliganInsuranceAlliance.com. And you can always call 479-282-0605, 479-282-0605. The Galligan Insurance Alliance.
Okay, we're back. It's 4th and 7. Ozark had to call a timeout as they're about to get a penalty, and there's a good snap, good kick. Going to be fielded by Logan at the 25. He drops it. Nice block.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Bobby Cat. Bobby Cat is a physical young man.
That's an understatement. The gentleman that he just hit was an offensive lineman.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, there is just.
You could hear that. You heard that block from up here. 4:52 go here in the first half. Tigers up 34-6. Ball, they'll start at their own 25.
Can I say something right now?
Absolutely.
And I know that this is probably a taboo subject, but can we talk about Coach Absher being one of the most underrated coaches in the state?
Oh,
Every year, this team, they look the same.
There's another player down.
I think it's the young man that got hit.
I think you're right.
I think he tried to get off, and then he only made it.
Well, let's take a break with them. With 4:52 to go, Tigers up 34-6.
Take a stroll down memory lane as you stride into Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, where things are done the old-fashioned way. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and even late night, you'll find only the best. Breakfast to die for, a lunch offering fresh burgers and fries, and dinner platters that are sure to keep you coming back for more. And did we mention hand-dipped shakes, as well as a great selection of desserts? It all awaits you at Steak and Shake, located just south of the mall. Steak and Shake, life needs flavor.
Okay, here comes Prairie Grove. 1st and 10, ball at their own 25.
Oh, the shotgun.
Storley
This
and
is new.
Sugg. And now Storley looking. He's got Sainer.
They were looking for Sainer down the
They were
middle.
looking for Sainer. A little bit of a delay, but it didn't develop. And, you know, Storley's had a little trouble back there, and he sacked that time, led by Patrick McCartney. Loss of 7 on the play.
Yeah, it's their pass protection's been. I mean, they've had some issues, and
I don't know if it's pass protection on that, Zach, as much. There was decent coverage that time.
Well, he had Dylan on the pop pass. He had him. You know, Dylan's 6'6", just throw it up to him. But what I was saying just before we went to the break, the man. I mean, it's not like we're churning out D1 athletes every year. This team, no matter what they do, it looks the same every year. It may not be the flashiest thing in the world, but you know what? 8-9 wins a year is not bad.
And there's Logan Bartholomew.
Man.
Logan gets back up past the original line of scrimmage up to the 30.
Good, patient run.
That's about a 10-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 now. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah.
Wow, he got more than that, Zach.
He got a bunch of that back. He got 10 on that.
He got more than 10. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5 to go. He picked up 12 yards on that play.
Yeah, he sure did.
Logan Bartholomew now, he's got 7 carries, 19 yards. He's had a little bit of rough going tonight. It's his longest run of the game, I believe. 3rd and 6. In motion is Bobby Cat. There's Nick Sugg. Nick is going to get the first, and he's up to the 39-yard line. First and 10 for the Tigers. Ball at their own 38. And now Storley rolling to his right.
Bobby Cat wide open.
Bobby Cat. Bobby Cat.
Shoulder. Jeez.
Yeah, I think another player's hurt, Zach. Tackled number 15, Colin McClure,
we got holding.
Holding on the play, but look at 15. He's hurt. He's delivering punishment all over the field tonight. 3:01 to go.
Tough penalty. They're enforcing that one from the spot.
And that was 5 yards or 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big penalty.
That's a 14-yard penalty.
It's going to bring up second down and about 24. Now Storley this time to his left. Got big deal. No, there we go. Logan Bartholomew up to the 40. He had Sainer right there too. Second down and 7.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's Logan's first catch of the year. Nope, second catch. He had the touchdown against Lavaca, the 57-yarder.
Second down 7, ball at the 41. Storley under center. This time he's rolling to.
He's got Nick or Brandon. He can do what he wants.
There's
nice
Nodier, and Nodier has the first down, knocked out of bounds at the 43.
You know, he caught that one with his hands.
Nice catch, wasn't it? 34-6, 2:22, and the Tigers, if they put it in before the halftime, Zach, and can make the extra point, we'll go to a running clock in the second half.
Yeah, they're pretty much doing what they want. It doesn't matter down in distance. They're pretty, throw it, run it, whatever they want to do right now. 305 yards in the first half for Prairie Grove.
There's Bobby Cat.
Oh, boy, get out of his way.
Bobby Cat, he's just, I'm telling you, he is delivering punishment no matter where he is.
I don't have a nickname for him yet.
Just Bobby Cat. That's all.
Big bad Bobby Cat. That's all I got. He is just, I'm going to start calling him the Diesel. Because he is just delivering punishment every time he touches the ball.
Second down, and it's called a long, well, let's just call it 4 yards.
We're under 2 minutes here, and Prairie Grove doing whatever they want.
Here is Logan Bartholomew on the carry.
Man.
Can he break it out? He's got it. He's at the 30, to the 25, down to the 23. And now the Tigers need to start thinking about the clock, Zach, because they've got 1:33.
And they are just, whatever they want to do. Prairie Grove, 237 yards on the ground here in the first half, 90 through the air, 327 total and 37 plays.
Unbelievable.
And they've doubled up Ozark in amount of plays. Ozark's only run 16 plays for 56 yards.
We have all of our timeouts left. We want to leave ourselves something going on here. We've lost about 15 seconds here trying to get this play in. A minute and 10 seconds, and
we've got a play clock issue on the far side. Oh, it's a rocket screen.
Wow.
That's new.
Battles was about 2 steps away from being able to walk the dog the other way.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that. That was.
Now Prairie Grove's going to call a timeout. We're going to take a timeout with them. 55 seconds to go in the first half. Prairie Grove 34, Ozark 6.
You just bought that first home, or maybe the first new car, and you want it properly covered. Think Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence. Or maybe you just welcomed into the world that little gift of a child. You want to make sure that their future's secure. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Let's face it, you want someone local, someone that you know, someone that can be by your side when you need them to be there. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Home, life, auto, RV, boat, motorcycle insurance. Think Mark Spence, your local Shelter Insurance agent. Call 846-2999. That's 846-2999. Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence proudly support Tiger athletics and activities.
Okay, 55 seconds, Zach, to go here in the first half. The Tigers with an opportunity to score. They got the ball at the 24, second down and 10. The play clock is now running down to 17 seconds. Tigers this time in a full house backfield. Speed and Sugg in the backfield. Here comes the option. Storley is going to keep it, and now nowhere. He just goes down. 47 seconds now. And the Tigers going to bring up third down.
You got 3 timeouts. You got plenty of time.
We got 2. You just used
2
one.
timeouts, excuse me.
Now they're 5 wide. Storley back, rolling to his left. Going to pick it. He's going to be sacked again, at this time at the 25. And a nice job, and a player's down on the field. And another Ozark player's down. That looks more like a cramp. Oh, he got hit in the head.
I think his helmet came off, didn't it?
Number 53, that's Dakota Robinson.
Outside of Jacob's long touchdown run, he's really struggled a little bit to get the running game going tonight.
This is going to bring up 4th down and 13 to go. Tigers with 28 seconds. After a 28-0 start, Zach, it's been 6-6 here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Ozark settled down. I think the shock wore off, and they got themselves going. But man, Prairie Grove just clicking on all cylinders. They can do whatever they want. 40 plays here in the first half. I don't know that Prairie Grove's ever gotten up around that 70 play mark. But 40 plays to 16. You wonder if fatigue will start to set in on the Ozark side.
Well, it's 4th down. Someone called a timeout. Because I know the player was down.
I think they called timeout because of the injury. But is that a charge timeout inside of a minute?
I'm not sure. Here we go. 4th down and 13. Tigers with the ball at the 25. Storley rolling to his right. Nice defensive play. Good play that time by number 15, Coleman McClure. Nice job. So 21 seconds now. I assume Ozark will just run something.
I don't think they want to take a chance, or I think you just want to get into halftime and talk about this. It's turning into a beautiful night. It's cool in here now.
Feels nice. It's crowded in here, too.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of us in here.
Well, coming up at halftime, we have In the Grove, brought to you by our East Lab students, with a special guest tonight. They're going to the same play.
You got to be careful.
Boy. "17 seconds to go, 2nd and 10.
Ozark really struggling in the pass game. 1 out of 7. The
And
one was the touchdown pass, but just really.
How far was that touchdown pass?
58 yards.
Quick pass. Delivered.
There you go.
Second pass completed. That was to Jerron Harris. Jerron gets it up close to midfield. Now there's going to be a timeout. Ozark. 10 seconds to go. Let's take a timeout with them. 10 seconds to go. Prairie Grove 34, Ozark 6.
Take a stroll down memory lane as you stride into Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, where things are done the old-fashioned way. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and even late night, you'll find only the best. Breakfast to die for, a lunch offering fresh burgers and fries, and dinner platters that are sure to keep you coming back for more. And did we mention hand-dipped shakes, as well as a great selection of desserts? It all awaits you at Steak and Shake, located just south of the mall. Steak and Shake, life needs flavor.
All right, 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Tigers lead. Ozark has the ball at their own 48. They got a little bit there, Zach, so they can kind of go for it here and take a shot if they go deep. You don't want to do some kind of out pass that could be picked off and gone the other way. But
no, I don't think you do.
You want to go deep here, and Simpson's in the shotgun. He rolls to his left.
Oh!
Wow, the ball is in the air.
Hello, Nick.
Almost intercepted. Wow.
Nick.
Sugg was all over him. And with 3 seconds left, I'm not so sure you don't just.
I don't think you want to do that again.
They call the final. 14-3 Farmington over Gentry. So Farmington's, that's what they kind of do, Zach. They lull us all to sleep with those first few games, and then they come out ready to fight when conference play starts.
They look great in their uniforms. That's for darn sure.
We'll see how good they are just next week when the Tigers travel to Farmington.
It'll be fun, won't it? Be our third game up there together. We've had some interesting times.
Absolutely.
The pseudo computer fire when we went up there the last time, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
That was a good time.
They treat us well over
yes,
there.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They're always very hospitable, even though we almost burned down their press box.
We'll come back at halftime with some updated scores across the conference. Earlier, Gravett was leading P. Ridge, and Lincoln was leading Berryville 14-0. Not sure what that is now. We'll check at half and get back with you. Again, coming up at half, just in a few minutes here in the week in the Grove, brought to you by the East Lab students with a special guest tonight. And now back to throw in deep. Intercepted by Bobby Cat. Bobby Cat, go Bobby Cat. There's Bobby.
Oh no,
He's got a little
this is
room.
not what you wanted.
Bobby Cat.
This
Can
is
he
not
go?
what you
Bobby
wanted.
Cat,
Oh,
give Bobby Cat 6. Yes.
That is why you eat the football.
Give him 6.
Unbelievable. Wait.
And another touchdown sponsored by PG Telco. No flags, and Bobby Cat takes it to the house.
Can we just nominate everybody for the Steak and Shake player of the game? I mean,
PAT becomes critical here to start the second half.
Yes, it does. That's a 70-yard interception return for Big Bad Bobby Cat.
Bobby Cat, we've called him a lot tonight. Zach, are you thinking about the Steak and Shake player of the game?
Well, you know, Nick's got 3 scores. He's got a big hit on the quarterback. I mean, we could give it to just about anybody.
This is critical.
Clement.
Kick, Clement.
It is. Ooh, I think he hooked it. Nope,
good, yes. 41-6. That's going to do it for the first half.
Wow.
The score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 41, Ozark Hillbillies 6. It's time for In the Grove, brought to you by the East Lab students right after this message.
PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. But what does that mean to you? It means that you get to keep up with all your sporting events associated with Prairie Grove Athletics on a website furnished and maintained by PG Telco. It means that the folks at PG Telco have an interest in you, your kids, your school, and your community. And they're focused on progress. They're committed to bringing you the very latest in technology for your home or your office. For telephone, internet, long distance, or direct TV, think PG Telco. Built on community, focused on progress.
Hello, Prairie Grove. I'm Danny Davis. With me today is Dr. Alan Williams. Austin couldn't be here tonight, but tonight we're going to be talking about the Prairie Grove 50th anniversary. So, Dr. Williams?
Yeah, Danny, we're talking 50th anniversary of the band program, and it was kind of interesting this summer. Mr. Nichols and I received a letter from Francis Medeiros. I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, and hopefully he's listening tonight. And want to give a big thank you to him. He started the band program in Prairie Grove in the summer of '63. Came out and offered the school district at that time a chance to start a band program, and agreed to come out and teach band to 5th and 6th graders. I think there's about 18 of them at the time. Got paid $60 a month to come out 1 hour a day, 3 days a week, and get our program started. And the next year, I think, came out for 2 periods a day, and got paid about $120 a month to do that, again 3 days a week. But started the program and started the vision for what we've got, and hopefully he's going to get to tune in either tonight or watch this once it gets archived, and see how far our band program has gone. But to read the letter, it was neat to read about that history and the fact that he still thinks about the band program, and to let him know that it's still touching a lot of lives. Just so he'll know today, I think counting our 7th and 8th graders, along with our high school band, we have over 150 students involved in instrumental music and have a great program going.
I remember being in band when I was in middle school. So it was when I was in middle school, we had about, I believe we had the largest junior high group when I was in 8th grade. Mr. Moss took us down to the UCA competition, and I think we got first place. It was the first time a junior high band's ever done that in Prairie Grove.
Right, and Last year, I know our band was very, very close. One judge's score away from getting sweepstake trophy for having ones in marching contest and sight reading, and then concert play as well at region. And band programs just continue to do some great things. Also have a jazz band that plays tremendous music and has gotten a lot of recognition as well the last 3 or 4 years.
I mean, it's grown a lot. You can tell from right now looking down on the field how big our band is today. I mean, they're all lined all the way down the fence line here. To me, that's just amazing to see. One thing I like about Prairie Grove Band, Dr. Williams, is how every year we have a new theme for our music, but every year it just gets so much better, even though there's a new theme.
They do an excellent job, and they're still adding to their program right now, and it's going to be something to see here in a few weeks as they get ready for their region contest and what they're doing. I think we've got about 90 members in the high school band, and just do a tremendous job. Would like to say, if Mr. Medeiros gets on and looks at this, if you'll go back to the pregame, you can probably see they did a little bit different pregame and played out on the field and had some alumni come back and join the band as part of this 50th anniversary. But just can't say enough about what Gary Nichols has done, and Mr. Moss last year, and now we've got Mr. Cole here working as well with us.
I've had a little time to talk to Mr. Cole. He's been really nice getting to know him. We had a little segment about him last week from Shiloh Christian.
Right.
I thought that was pretty cool to get someone from Shiloh Christian to come to our school. So
moved here from Shiloh Christian, and he's kind of taken the lead with the jazz band and with the junior high group. But he and Mr. Nichols work together real well, and just doing an excellent job for us.
I asked Mr. Cole last week what was the one thing he really wants to see from the band this year. And he says he wants to see Prairie Grove High School Band win their first place brass award for the first time.
Wow.
So I hope to see him do that. I hope to see him win the first time and give us another thing to put on our wall for the first time for Prairie Grove.
Right. Well, you set the bar high, and our kids have had a tendency to make those achievements. So I think you set your goals high and go for them. I think tonight's going to be the first night our band's been out in full uniform, and the weather's been pretty hot, and feels pretty good out there tonight for them to be playing.
It's been a little hot the last couple weeks we've been out here, but looks like right now it's the right temperature where they can be in their uniforms, and I'm excited for tonight. I want to say that looks like some of the alumni are going to be on the field with them tonight during the halftime show too. I see a few of them with instruments going on here.
I think there may be a few of them jump out and join them for a song or two, and it's always good to see those folks back, and they take a lot of pride in coming back and seeing the program be as successful as it is.
Yeah, when I first saw the beginning of the game, I was kind of looking for John Van Zandt on the drums. Ever since I was a kid here, just first person I look for is John Van Zandt playing the snare.
Well, John, tremendous player, and All-State multiple years, and my understanding is majoring in music in college and wants to be a music teacher, band director at the college level, but just an excellent player, and we've got several of those, and that coming through our band program every year.
One of my friends I worked with over the summer actually goes to UCA. He's in band this year, and he asked me where I'm from. I said Prairie Grove, and the first name he heard of was John Van Zandt. That's the first thing he came up with. He was like, John Van Zandt goes there, right? I'm like, yeah. He's working with him this year. He said John's doing a great job down there. So
right. I went to school at UCA, and it's good to see some of our graduates go down there. But John will make a name for himself wherever he ends up.
Great player. He always comes up with something new, and always exciting to hear him play.
Been hearing in the background the Ozark band playing, and they're doing a good job. And Prairie Grove will be taking the field here in a little bit, and I guess we'll put the camera on them and let them be the show here in just a couple of minutes.
Well, I guess that's this week in the Grove. Dr. Williams, it's been great talking to you. Hope to get you back up here sometime. We can talk some more.
Well, appreciate you letting me on. And again, want to say a big thank you to Francis Medeiros and his vision in getting the band program started here in Prairie Grove.
It's great to see what it's become. So That's all. Thank you very much. See you next week.
We're ready.
Well, Zach, we went exactly. There's 20 minutes, and they get an additional 3. We went all 23
we took all
minutes.
23 minutes. That's
for halftime.
That's the first time that's ever happened.
I think it
Big
is.
night
Real
here.
quick, let me turn some time over to the stats.
Well, let's talk about the keys of the game we talked about at the beginning of the game. For Ozark, it was put the ball in the air. Prairie Grove's given up about 160 a game. Thus far, it's been a nightmare for Ozark. 2 out of 10. 81 yards passing, but the big interception at the end of the first half, just a killer. Minimize mistakes. They've turned the ball over twice. Both have led to Prairie Grove scores. They have to win the special teams. That obviously has not happened. And as I said, you got to make Prairie Grove one-dimensional. I thought they should bring eight or nine guys into the box. Prairie Grove to this point, 235 yards on the ground. That's great. And then, maybe you drop back and make them pass. Jacob Storley right now, 6 out of 8 for 90 yards throwing the football with a touchdown.
He has been sacked a few times.
He has, and he's rushed a couple of throws, but overall this is their best passing night of the year, so really can't complain. For Prairie Grove, just keep the pressure on, get things going early, and we're at 41-6.
And Zach, those are the stats brought to you by the Bank of Fayetteville. 41-6. We'll have a running clock here in the second half.
Just one number to keep an eye on. Prairie Grove has given up 79 yards in the first half.
Wow, unbelievable. And 48 with that was on a touchdown pass. Kick by J.D. Speed, fielded by Battles at a 15. Battles gets out to the 30. He's brought down by Sam Mayday Dodd.
There you go. Feels good, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. With this kind of score, we may be hearing from the purple one here before the
I'm excited.
Oh, boy. And I'm not referring to the hillbillies on purple.
Nope, we haven't seen the gun go off over there, have we? Where's the guy with the gun? I guess he went home.
Get out an early start. Let's check PG Tigers online. Joe saying go Tigers. Listen from Valley Springs, Bob Yarbrough. And he's a proud son. His grandson is Jacob Storley.
Hey, he's having a nice night.
There's Battles. Battles breaks a couple tackles, and Battles up the middle.
This.
Battles in Prairie Grove territory. Wow, he's all the way down to the 35-yard line. Finally brought down by Jacob Storley.
That's the way they started the second quarter with a big play.
Also, David Lehman, we heard from him earlier. And again, if you're watching, go to pgtigersonline.com. Let us know where you're watching from. Ozark gets a good start in the second half.
33-yard run, start the second half.
They're at the Prairie Grove 35. Nice run by Battles. Simpson in the shotgun. Simpson going to give to Battles again. Again, Battles breaks a couple tackles. He's going to be brought down. That is Jack Reynolds. He picks up about 4 yards, going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Those 2 runs get them out of the negatives running the football. Ozark now 12 carries, 35 yards.
2nd and 6. Simpson going to his left. He's under pressure from Nodier. Ball is incomplete.
Well. Just not what he does well.
I think he goes better. I mean, they've got him going to his left a couple times tonight. He seems to be a little better going to his right. But he doesn't. I notice he doesn't square up, Zach.
He's 2 out of 11. Right, left, it doesn't matter. I mean, the 2 completions were the seam pass.
He looks better going to the right.
The seam pass right before the half, and then the touchdown. He was in the pocket. When they move him around, he's 0 for 9.
3rd down and 6. Boy, why would you get away from running with Battles?
I'm not sure. I think you're going to see I think you'll see that play they scored on. There it is. Oh, they're going to keep it.
Keeper, and he's going to be short.
Good play by Connor. Slowed that down.
Connor West slowed it down. J.D. Speed, Aaron Price to help out, and he's going to be
Got a hold?
Holding, and that's going to back this up. Prairie Grove starts the second half with the starters. I was a little surprised by that. I imagine they'll play 1 series will be my guess, Zach.
Yeah, I think just like last week. You'll get a little bit of the starters, and then we'll see a bunch of the reserves.
3rd down and 13 for Ozark. Ball backed up to about the 38-yard line. Now here's Simpson going to his right.
Oh!
And
Good
that
play,
is
Logan.
Logan Bartholomew. Logan was about 2 steps away from being able to just take that the other way.
He sure was, wasn't he? He wanted a piece of that one.
But once he saw he couldn't get it, he made the right decision, made a nice lick there on number 12, Jerron Harris. Fourth down, 13. Clock running. Be running throughout the second half. Down to 8 minutes here in the third. And I imagine now he's rolling again to his left. Whoa. Man, Prairie Grove is laying licks tonight, left and right.
They really are. He lit him up, but
he hit
the pass was behind him.
Yeah.
You know, he's rolling to his left. The pass was behind the receiver. And why you would run a 3-yard pass pattern out in the flat, it just doesn't make a lot of sense on 4th and 14.
Looks like they're bringing in the reserves because Sam Mayday's in there.
Yep, Mayday's in to run the offense.
Whole new set of linemen. Number 71, Lance Parnell. 78, John Whitley. Number 68, Hayden Hudspeth. Can see who the set. 91, Orrin Hacker here at tight end.
Sam.
That's
62. That's Galden again.
That's Galden, Matthew Galden.
All right, we're going to protest the 62 running the football. That just doesn't look right.
I love it. I love it.
Just doesn't look right.
There's a couple more linemen I want to call out if I can get their numbers. I think 64, Michael Johnson's in there.
And this is great for the guys that are getting in now. You're playing against first teamers from Ozark and getting a little bit of experience.
Galden picked up 5. Blake Falk's going to be wrapped up in the backfield. I think the other lineman is Jacob Ward. So Prairie Grove's got a lot of guys out there. Number 80 coming in, that's Zach Downey. Brings in the play to Sam Dodd. Dodd I can't tell if it's 58 or 59 over there from here.
58 is Sparkman.
There's a pitch.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
A reverses field. Blake Falk trying to
Keep
find
going,
something.
Blake. Keep going, Blake.
He's still.
Just get what you can.
And now several of the Hillbillies bringing down.
They're going to give him a yard on that one. It's a tough run. That'll bring up 4th down.
So 4th down for the Tigers. J.D. Speed in to punt. 41-6, down to 5:23 to go here. And now
down here on the sidelines, Eli Lopez is now in street clothes.
He is in street clothes. I hope he's okay.
Looks to be limping a little bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not what you wanted.
Tough hit there on Speed. They may, if he was down, was he down? That's the question. No, I don't think there's a flag. Fumble on the snap, and Ozark's going to get the ball at the Prairie Grove 15. Well, it looks like Prairie Grove, they played all subs on offense, but looks like they got the starters in on defense, Zach. I think because maybe Ozark left theirs in, I don't know, but down to 4:25 to go here. Here is Simpson keeping. He's hit, spun around. He's hit hard. Picks up about 3 yards. .353 to go here. 2nd down, 7. Pitch. And it's a fumble,
on the ground.
And Battles is hit, wrapped up. I'll tell you what. Nodier, Speed, Storley, all in there.
They are definitely flying to the football, aren't they?
Man, they have hit hard tonight. And Bobby Cat is.
I think he's knocked out at least 3.
He has been something else night.
He's going all Clubber Lang on us tonight. What's your forecast, Bobby? Pain.
There is.
Good
hitting the
play,
backfield.
Brandon Notier, and we're going to get the hold.
It
Yeah,
was.
they're going to get the hold on Ozark.
That was J.D. Speed on the stop.
Is that Speed?
That was J.D. Speed. Notier was right behind him, but
I think they're going to get the penalty.
I believe that was that Jenkins on the play. And I think they're going to decline that penalty, so it's going to bring up 4th down.
Back at the 20. I think I just developed a nickname for Bobby Cat.
He's just Bobby Cat to me.
The catastrophe. Makes bad things happen for other teams. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress.
The Clubber Lane was almost catchy enough for me. Okay, he's staying in the pocket.
Clubber?
Kind of a delay.
Yeah.
Wow, nice run.
Down.
He's not going to be enough. Notier wraps up Simpson. Now coming back out. Golden, number 62, going back into the backfield. 2:15 to go. We're almost through the third quarter here with the running clock, with the mercy rule in play. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Tigers up 41-6, same score we had at halftime. J.D. Speed he took a lick on that punt.
Yeah, he did. He got hit in the back of the head. You worry about those. And he looks to be, he's arguing with the coaches to go back in right now.
Sam Dodd in at quarterback. Flag on the play on Prairie Grove.
I think we got motion.
Cody Hoskins on that carry. Illegal motion against the Tigers. Going to back them up 5. Well, Zach, now we're getting close to the end of the third quarter. We can start thinking about next week's game a little bit with Farmington.
Mm-hmm.
Last score we got on Farmington, I think, was
14-6, 13-6, 14-3.
14-3, and probably get an update from that soon. Lincoln was leading 21-6. Gravett was winning 13-6. Shiloh beating Morrilton 41-35, and now
was that wing-back reverse. That Hacker?
Or was that Castro?
I'll go with Jake on that one. We'll say Castro.
Lavaca beating Lamar 21-18.
I think they're going to. I think they're going to let this run down and end the third quarter.
Farmington still leading 14-3. That was a halftime score. That's going to do it after 3 quarters of play. Prairie Grove 41, Ozark 6. Back after this.
Take a stroll down memory lane as you stride into Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, where things are done the old-fashioned way. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and even late night, you'll find only the best. Breakfast to die for, a lunch offering fresh burgers and fries, and dinner platters that are sure to keep you coming back for more. And did we mention hand-dipped shakes, as well as a great selection of desserts? It all awaits you at Steak and Shake, located just south of the mall. Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. You just bought that first home, or maybe the first new car, and you want it properly covered. Think Shelter Insurance and Mark Spence. Or maybe you just welcomed into the world that little gift of a child. You want to make sure that their future's secure. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Let's face it, you want someone local, someone that you know, someone that can be by your side when you need them to be there. Think Mark Spence and Shelter Insurance. Home, life, auto, RV, boat, motorcycle insurance. Think Mark Spence, your local Shelter Insurance agent. Call 846-2999. 2999. That's 846-2999. Shelter Insurance in March.
Dodd on the carry. Dodd's going to get the ball back to about the 10-yard line. Picks up 3 or 4 yards on the play. Well, Zach, we're going to have a running clock here for the last 12 minutes, and we're going to see a lot of players that actually we say we don't see often, but we've seen. But you know what? We've been seeing 3 out of 4 games this year because we were just talking about off the air that Prairie Grove, this will be their 3rd out of 4 games with a mercy rule, and we neither one of us anticipated this tonight.
No, this one's a shocker.
And now they're going to let Dodd throw the ball. Pass is complete. It's out of bounds. That was Zach Downey. There's a flag down. It's probably going to be holding back there. They may decline this.
I would think so. That way you get the 4th down and the ball back.
Of course, the longer they make their decision, the faster that clock keeps
exactly.
going. That's fine with me. The penalty is decline. Holding, penalty decline. And so now J.D. Speed and company will be on to punt. Need a good snap this time. Bad snap here means 2 to 6 points.
Boy, next week's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I'm sitting here starting to think, you know, Farmington, if they hold on, they're up 14-3. They'll come into the game, the Battle of Highway 62. They've lost 2 in a row now. Another little bit off snap. JD's not a great kick on that one. Kind of shanked it. He's going to get a break on where they marked that. That thing went on. It was right in front of us. That crossed the line somewhere around the
32.
They're going to give him a 32, but may have gone out a little bit earlier.
23-yard punt. I think he rushed it a little bit after the snap.
That's probably the worst punt we've seen him this year. He's had some good punts. He's had some really good punts this year.
And still, Prairie Grove has not given up a yard in punt returns. Just an anomaly. Looks like Ozark's going to some reserves. That's Jenkins who cut the touchdown pass.
Brian
now going
Jenkins
in at quarterback.
He's the one that threw the interception. Also, they had replaced Simpson at the half. Ball, snap, bad snap, and
Cole's got it.
Cole McClellan with the recovery, and the Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their own 44. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the ball game. Marianne
made it.
Marianne, I knew she'd be here before the night was over.
Man, just a tough night for Ozark.
You know, that's probably about the 4th bad snap they've had.
They've really struggled with that. And, you know, and last year, you know, we went down there and came out with a 24-point win, and then they got it together and made a run at the state title. So anything can happen.
Ryan Morrell now in. He's going to have a keeper. Morrell lowers the shoulder. He's good. Good tackle. Nice tackle that time. That was number 40 for Ozark, Tyler Haney. Haney with a good wrap-up tackle. Ball's at the 48. Eight minutes, 15 seconds to go. Second down and 6.
There's Cody.
Hoskins going to get close to midfield, picks up maybe a couple. Brings up 3rd down, a long 4 for the Tigers.
It's good to see these young guys getting some experience. This is how you build. This is how you build your program. And one time the starters on this team were the guys getting experience.
Speaking of starters, after this play, I relate something else. Here's Morrell. Got Galden at fullback. Falk at Morrell's going to roll to his right. He throws over the head of Martin Castro. No, at halftime I walked down to the concession stand, Zach, and I saw Cooper Winters.
Did you?
Weston Bartholomew. Jared Murphy.
I ran into Landon.
Landon.
Yeah, Landon's right there.
Yeah.
He's down there in his Coffeyville soccer shirt.
Well, going down there and seeing those players, and you know they're here. You know they miss it a little bit, and but at the same time, they know they help contribute to build, continue to build on the great tradition that Prairie Grove has in high school football. Another high snap, JD Speed. This time, JD gets a nice kick.
They're blowing the whistle for it, huh? We got a penalty? I think we got a personal foul back here.
Somebody pull his helmet off. I didn't see it.
Ineligible man downfield.
Ineligible man downfield.
You know Ozark's going to take that.
What was that? How do you have an illegal man downfield on a punt? I thought that's what you're supposed to do on a punt.
Not real sure. Are they going to?
I got to check with our expert down there.
What are they doing?
Hey, Scott, what's that? I thought you were supposed to go downfield on a punt. Zach just got an update. Farmington only leading right now. Gentry 14-11 going into the fourth quarter. So that game
Gentry's going to be a tricky one.
Very interesting indeed.
My wife just sent me a text message. She asked how it was going. I told her. She said, "Wow, another great game."
Where are they, Mark?
I don't know
have
what
no
they're
idea
doing.
what's going on.
It's time to break it out. I have seen monkey fights at a zoo more organized than these guys. These guys have been all over the place
Well, I think
tonight.
part of it is they know there's a running clock.
I don't know what they're doing. Nick downs the ball at the 7-yard line. They call an ineligible receiver or illegal man downfield, and now they're bringing the ball out to like the 35-yard line.
Why not run the I don't know what's going on. And I don't know how. I still got to get over an illegal man downfield on a punt.
On a punt.
I thought that's what you're supposed to do. Go chase him on a
They're
punt.
going to give him the ball on the 25-yard line. That's a first. I don't know.
Someone said it could have been around the helmet coming off of Logan and then him going downfield to try to make a play. That could have happened too. But regardless, we're down to
we
lost
wasted
about
2 minutes doing that.
We're down to 4:18. We still don't have.
What are they doing?
Now they stop the clock with 4:17 to go. Now they're going to start the clock with 4:17. What is going on?
I give up.
We're down to 4 minutes to go. At this rate, we may have 2 more plays, Zach.
You're absolutely right.
Colton McChristian on the carry, number 24.
I've never seen that before.
I haven't either. Big Andrew Carrillo coming off the field. Hacker, also number 78, John Whitley coming off. Jenkins on a keeper. Jenkins pitches.
There you go.
To McChristian, and McChristian's going to be close to first down. I think he's got the first down.
Looks like they're going to give him the 35, which would give him a first down.
They give him the first. 3:09 to go. 14-11 is the Farmington score. It's a close.
We may have time to go. Yeah,
I was just thinking we may have time to go see the end of the
there.
Farmington game. There's a little mix-up there. They're going to.
That looked like something you see in the backyard. Whew, Dakota Hutchinson. Hello.
Hutchinson. Hoskins had him first, and then Hutchins brought him down, and it's going to be a loss on the play. Down to 2:40 to go in the game, Zach. We're not going to have a lot of time. Steak and Shake player of the game tonight.
Nick scored 3.
You like Nick, I like Bobby. I like Bobby because Bobby was laying the lead to folks tonight.
Nick scored 3. Bobby knocked out at least 3.
And he had an interception return.
Yes, he did.
Let's do co-players of the game tonight. Nick Sugg, Bobby Catt. And a great play tonight. The offensive line did a great job tonight. Defense, an incredible game tonight. They
Defense
played well.
really, really well. And I mean, you look around the conference, you look at how tight the scores are. This one will send a ripple through the conference. When this one's reported and you see the final score, there's some teams that are going to look around and go, wow, they're back.
41-6, third down, 10 to go. Now a new quarterback, number 13, a nice hit there. I think that was Aaron Price. Number 13, Austin Wheelis.
He's got nice wheelis.
And Wheelis just a little short. It's going to be 4th and 1, minute and a half to go. Again, the Steak and Shake players of the game, Nick Sugg and Bobby Cat. Bobby with the last score of the game, assuming nothing else happens here in the last minute and 20. 4th and a yard, Willis. Hunter Howell gets the first down. He's close to midfield, down to a minute to go, and Aaron Price.
I feel like we should be quoting that little girl from Poltergeist. They're here. I mean, this team's growing and getting better. I mean, they are at the beginning of the year. I think we had some questions, and
they've been answered.
They've answered them, and they've answered them in a big, big way.
Big Braden Sugg there, plugging up the middle.
Ooh. Good shot.
Again, Willis. We may get one more play. Pick up a 4 down to Prairie Grove 46. 25 seconds to go in the ball game. Next week, Prairie Grove goes to Farmington. Stay with us for our post-game show. Post-game show brought to you by Prairie Grove Christian Church. And that's going to do it. Our final score, where we were at halftime, 41-6. And the Tigers start off the conference play 1-0. Next week, the Battle of Highway 62, Zach, but it's time for our post-game show brought to you by Prairie Grove Christian Church. We'll be back for the post-game show after this.
Something's missing. Your life just seems to have that little something that hasn't fallen into place, and you've tried all the world has to offer, and you still have that empty feeling. Does it sound way too familiar? Well, Prairie Grove Christian Church invites you to experience God on a personal level, and don't worry about being judged. We all have sinned and fall short of the glory, but at Prairie Grove Christian Church, we're all about loving God, loving others, and serving others, and PGCC has something for every member of the family: kids, youth, adults, and more. And 2 services on Sunday that you're sure to find one that fits your schedule and your needs. Simply put, God tells us to seek Him first, and all these things will be added unto you. What are all these things? It's called a Christian life, and we invite you to feel the difference this Sunday at Prairie Grove Christian Church.
Well, Zach, post-game show brought to you by the Prairie Grove Christian Church, and now the stats brought to us by Bank of Fayetteville.
Nick Sugg leading the team in rushing tonight, 7 carries for 65 yards, 2 scores. Also caught a touchdown pass from Jacob Storley. Jacob, good tonight. Jacob was very, very sharp. 6 out of 9, 90 yards, 2 scores. The Prairie Grove defense showed up in a big way. 147 yards total offense, 88 through the air for Ozark, and 59 on the ground. Offensively, 51 plays. They only ran 11 in the second half, but with the running clock, that's understandable. 308 yards on the ground. Oh, I checked that. It's 308 yards total offense, 218 on the ground, 90 through the air. Total domination by Prairie Grove. Turnovers galore, and you know, there are some games that when you see them on the schedule, you go, okay, that's a big game. This is a big game, and you know, Prairie Grove just came in and handled their business, and it's on to the battle for Highway 62.
Well, let's talk about that again. Our Steak and Shake players of the game, Nick Sugg and Bobby Cat.
Nick scored 3, Bobby knocked out 3.
And Bobby with that interception return for a touchdown for the half, that made the running clock for the second half. And
which did you like better, the block or the touchdown?
I love the block. The only reason I like the touchdown is it made a running clock for the second half.
That's true. It did put the mercy rule in effect.
Well, let's talk about real briefly next week. We go to Farmington. Farmington clinging right now to a 14-11 lead over Gentry. you and I get these headsets off fast enough, we may go see the
yeah,
final.
we may make the end of that game.
Final 6 minutes. But that's going to do it tonight. We want to thank our East Lab students for all of their help tonight. Danny Davis, Patrick Jordan, Joel Young, James Middlebrook, Ethan Sams, Casey Stamps, and Samantha Dodd. That's going to do it tonight. For Zach Arns, I'm Lane Gregson for the East Lab students in Prairie Grove High School. The final score, the Prairie Grove Tigers 41, Ozark Hillbilly 6. We'll see you next week for the Battle of Highway 62 in Farmington. Thank you and have a great night.
We want to thank you once again for joining us for another night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. And a big thank you going out to the Prairie Grove High School East Lab. Their volunteer hours make this game possible. Also, we want to thank PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. By Clorox, the name alone means clean. The Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas and Prairie Grove since 1946. Shelter Insurance, your local shelter insurance agents, Mr. Mark Spence. And Prairie Grove Christian Church, where it's all about loving God, loving others, and serving others. And by Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And also by the Bank of Fayetteville, where they're banking on your potential. And the broadcast is also brought to you in part by the Prairie Grove High School Booster Club, reminding you your Tiger pride is just one membership away. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger. We want to thank you once again for joining us for another night of Prairie Grove Tiger football. And a big thank you going out to the Prairie Grove High School East Lab. Their volunteer hours make this game possible. Also, we want to thank PG Telco, the providers of PGTigersOnline.com. PG Telco, built on community, focused on progress. By Clorox, the name alone means clean. The Lewis Automotive Group, serving Northwest Arkansas and Prairie Grove since 1946. Shelter Insurance, your local shelter insurance agents, Mr. Mark Spence. And Prairie Grove Christian Church, where it's all about loving God, loving others, and serving others. And by Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And also by the Bank of Fayetteville, where they're banking on your potential. And the broadcast is also brought to you in part by the Prairie Grove High School Booster Club, reminding you your Tiger pride is just one membership away. It's great to be a Prairie Grove Tiger.